My name's Kaya Szafrańska. I'm from a YouTube channel which name is unpronounceable in English. It's jakbyniepaczec.
I feel like I recognise you.
You may recognize me because we have met 2 years ago
In Poland, yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Nice
I
to
met
see you
both
again.
of you. Nice to see you
It's
again.
nice to see you.
My first question is about the change. When we met 2 years ago, you were just beginning your adventure with The Witcher. Now it's second season. What has changed for you since then?
I
There's
think
so much.
I think for me it's just the fact that I can, work and be an actor, which is, the job I've wanted to do since I was 14. And, right now all my friends are kind of in that time in their life where they're going to uni and things, and I'm getting to work full time as an actor. So I think that's, how it's majorly changed. That's quite a big difference to, most of what my other people, where they're at, what they're at in life, So I don't know. I guess that's quite a big shift, yeah.
For me, it'd be the kind of the same thing, not in terms of the time of life, but having The Witcher to be able to work full time. And I suppose I've gained a lot of confidence this year, just because I suppose my perspective's changed as well through COVID. Feel like I've got my priorities in order. I mean, I have really bad days and good days, but priorities in order from that, definitely. That experience was huge. Is huge. We're still going through it.
And for your characters, the change has been huge during this second season. The show is about change, but we can see how your characters develop this season. Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, I mean, for Ciri, she goes through so much. She's carrying the weight of everything she's experienced and everything that's happened to her in season 1 with her into season 2, obviously, and she is tackling with plucking up basically the courage to face this power that she has inside her, because it's something that really terrifies her. And I think she's also navigating so many different relationships. Obviously, the one with Geralt, they're trying to sort of work each other out, and they've got this push and pull relationship, because they're kind of, she's got a guard up and he's trying to work her out. And she also is so determined to become a Witcher, and that's not in his kind of, plan to keep her safe. And so it's kind of them working that out between each other. And then, and she sort of is residing in that idea of becoming a Witcher, because she's also finding out so many lies about her past, and not quite, and I think it's sort of making her question her kind of identity and everything she thought she came from, that she sort of is like, okay, I'm going to put all of my attention and all my focus on the idea of becoming a Witcher. And so that's basically, there's a lot going on in her head. There's a lot happening, and it was fun though.
Yeah. I mean, I really can't say very much because there's a huge change at the beginning of Yennefer's journey that kind of affects the whole journey. So she goes on another epic journey of self-discovery, but I'd say this time she really gets to find her true power. I've said that last season, I'll say it again, but I really mean it this time. She has to dig deep. She has to use her wits and her physical strength more than ever to get herself out of situations.
Talking about physical strength, let's talk about Ciri and what she's been through this second season. There's a lot of agility challenges that she has to face. How was it? How did you feel doing all this on set?
It was so much fun. I love getting to do all that stuff. I got to kind of it really did kind of challenge me at times, which I love as well, because I like to be a little bit a little bit scared at the start to have to like get through something. I think that's makes it more fun. And yeah, it was great. Everyone was always, the crew kept saying, "Oh, I want to go up there." Like everyone wanted to go, and I was just getting to be up there constantly. Yeah. After a while, though, you do go happily. Somebody take my place, because you're standing up there shaking with two hot water bottles. But no, I absolutely love doing all that. I've waited so long to get to do it, and yeah, I only hope that there are more stunts. It's so much fun, and I've said a lot recently that it's nice to get to do that physical stuff amongst all the kind of very intense, emotionally like driven scenes, than to be in a scene where your character's literally having to focus on getting past an obstacle is somewhat therapeutic for yourself, to not have to be digging deep into your sort of soul.
So what were your biggest challenges this season? I mean, there was COVID, the pandemic, whole chaos that is going on. And working on set must have been really hard. But you also had challenges working on your characters. What was the thing that you had to face and was the hardest for both of you?
I think for me, it's always internal, the kind of the biggest fear. For Yennefer especially this season, she's in a really vulnerable position, and so I'd say the biggest challenge was joining forces with Geralt and Ciri, because she's, even though she's kind of, as well as being in this really sensitive, vulnerable position, she has to meet the two people who kind of make her even more vulnerable. And I still wouldn't know how to play that. I really tried to kind of leave that to the moment, because I had no ideas of how that would be. And I hope that it translates. To
be honest, I think sometimes the hardest thing is just getting to set and being on set before. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes when you actually are in the scene, that's the most relieving part. It's the before part where you're sort of got this tension and this sort of pent up kind of like hold on whatever it is you're going to have to feel that day in the scene or whatever. You've got it sort of there, but under the surface, and you can't quite relax, and you're sort of and then it's actually when you're playing out the scene that you're like, oh, I get to like release all of that pent up tension. So I think sometimes the hardest thing is just like getting into it and just waiting around for me, because everything's always a challenge.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was my last question. Great season, guys.
Thank
really
you.
Great. And thank you. It's been a pleasure seeing you again.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.